They are making a difference on 938 Live.
Now, while most 21-year-olds are still looking for the best cure for a hangover, there's one 21-year-old here in Singapore who has an impressive CV for setting up initiatives for those less fortunate. Deborah Lam founded the Deaf Dragon Singapore back in 2012 and is now embarking on Society Staples. She tells us more.
Society Staples is a startup social enterprise that believes in promoting acceptance, equality, and ultimately striving to make Singapore a more inclusive society. So what we do is we raise awareness of persons with disabilities and also other marginalized groups. So currently we are doing Dragon Boat orientation programs for corporate and large groups who are looking at team building activities. And we are also embarking on a mission to create Singapore's first inclusive gym.
First inclusive gym. This interests me. What does that mean?
Okay, so an inclusive gym basically means it's community gym where anyone and everyone can come in to work out. So it's going to be wheelchair accessible. It's going to be visually handicap friendly. We are also going to have information in visual and both audio so that it can cater to both the deaf and the blind. Because our current gyms, they do not have accessibility for persons with disabilities.
And exactly why did you decide to set something like this up? It sounds very challenging.
Okay, so it really started about 3 years back when my co-founder Ryan, he actually saw this Storm article of a special needs school teacher that was in a way writing some derogatory remarks on her Facebook about the students that she was taking care of. So that really infuriated him, and that's how he started concepting the idea of Deaf Dragon. So Deaf Dragons is a team for the hearing impaired, and to date we are the first team to actually field a full deaf team in Dragon Boat history. And so the idea of this inclusive gym really spun off from Deaf Dragons, because through Deaf Dragons we saw how sports was actually a very strong platform to bring people together and also to allow the community to see persons with disabilities for their abilities. And we wanted to expand this platform, to make it accessible for other disabilities as well.
Is there a demand for this though? Have you gotten feedback from the disabled community that something like this is lacking for them?
Definitely. So we have done quite a lot of research, and also we've talked to a number of key stakeholders. One very shocking fact was when I was interviewing one of my visually handicapped friends, she actually told me that the current gym, she actually gets denied from going in after the staff knows that she's blind. And we have also been reading a lot more reports about government initiatives on how they're trying to make sports more inclusive. And CNA also did an interview talking about overcoming sports for the disabled, and they also further explored the options that there's currently no community initiatives where persons with disabilities can just walk in and do sports together with the community. So this is where we're coming in to bridge this gap.
In setting up this gym, I can imagine actually sourcing for the right equipment that will accommodate so many disabilities all in one space. That must be quite a challenge. Can you take us through the difficulties that you're facing right now?
Okay, so initially we really wanted a gym with all the inclusive equipment that you mentioned. So, things like being wheelchair friendly and all. But then we realized that having that kind of equipment poses a little bit of limitations and restrictions on ourselves, because it's very costly. And also for let's say a community member who is coming in, that type of equipment is definitely not suitable for the community members. So we changed our concept a little. So right now we are really focused on setting up a strength and conditioning gym. So when I talk about strength and conditioning, think about equipment like your free weight. So things that are very highly adaptable and mobile, and yet the intensity and the load can be scaled to any kind of fitness level. So instead of machines that you see at your commercial gyms, we are going to be all free weights and free equipment things, so that it's really accommodating for everyone.
Deborah, you're a very young lady. Where are you getting all this drive and passion and fire from?
I would guess a lot of motivation actually comes from my co-founder, Ryan. I think he has taught me to be a better person, and also to make me, I would say he's actually the one who made me so passionate about, all these social causes. So right from ever since I was young, I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I never ever thought about doing things like, business for a good cause. I always believe in, if my business makes a lot of profit, then I'll just probably donate a certain percentage or an amount to a particular organization or charity. But when Ryan roped me in for Deaf Dragons and he slowly, brought me along the journey and opened my eyes to all these social problems, I started to realize that my passion for it started growing. And now I really believe in his vision that, no matter how small you are or how little resources you have, if you're willing to put in the effort and do the part, I believe we can actually try to make Singapore a more inclusive society.
And that was Deborah Lum, one of the founders of Society Staples. You can get in contact with them and find out more about what they do at facebook.com/Society Staples. This has been They Are Making a Difference. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daphne Lim.
They are making a difference on 938 Live.